What's up, people? Welcome back to the third episode of the Slin Academy Slincast. Today, with me, I have Ahmed. He's another creator from TikTok who I believe posts similar kind of content to mine, and I believe we share a lot of similar ideologies. So, I thought it'd be a pretty cool idea to make him hop on a Q&A with me. Um, so, let's just get right into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Um, how do you manage your heart rate on cycle, and why does it increase? You want
Sure.
to start us off?
Sure. Yeah, I'll give this one a go. So, I found that naturally over the course of your push up or a bulk, if you want to call it, your heart rate is going to naturally increase, right? You're a little bit heavier. Your whole body is just using more energy, right? I also find that if you have a lot of water retention, whether that's from GH or some anabolic, you're going to have a naturally higher resting heart rate. It's pretty simple to honestly fix this. First of all, you want to check off is your rate of gain. If you're gaining a lot of fat throughout your push-ups, I think that's the first thing to assess there. Once you assess that, then I would take a look at your anabolics. Something like a trend or something that's going to tax your nervous system hard is going to just set your heart rate a little bit higher no matter what you do. So I think there's some merit in just accepting that it's going to be a little bit higher. Some supplements you can take. Obviously, you can just throw in like an Nebivolol in there. That'll probably get you right back down to where you need. That's about it, really, from my end. What would you say?
I believe a lot of kind of things play into this. Well, to start, of course, make sure the sleep is on point.
Yeah,
Uh, Impaired sleep will decrease your heart rate variability
yeah,
and increase your total resting heart rate overall. Completely right on the anabolic part. Trend or any potent kind of anabolic will have a more direct binding affinity to the androgen receptor, and we have androgen receptors everywhere in our body, including our central nervous system. So, the harder the drug binds to the androgen receptor, really the harder of an effect it's going to have on
yeah.
the central nervous system and its impact on catecholamine production. Uh, Nebivolol is great. Yeah, absolutely. Nebivolol, especially if the individual is using something like Clen in a cutting phase to help offset some of its effects. Or, I mean,
Yeah,
in this specific phase we're talking about pushing up, but Nebivolol is great all around. It has no downsides in my opinion. And
yeah,
of course, most important of all, stay active. Don't eat like a jackass and do your
yeah,
cardio as well.
yeah,
Um, that's about it for me right there.
yeah. I think another thing to note is as well, like if as long as your, I think as long as your cardio during like your heart rate during your cardio stays within range between that 130, 140, I think resting heart rate could even be overlooked slightly. I don't think it's the biggest issue or main concern when in a push up. I think it's something you just naturally accept is going to happen. If it's impairing your recovery, then I think you can begin to take a look at it. But I know I have certain clients that their heart rate gets up to like 75 and they're, freaking out a little bit, but it's just
Yeah,
natural,
no,
right? Day-to-day fluctuations, it's fine.
yeah, 75. I mean, man, like some people might get even as high as like 90s
Yeah,
in the resting, like
for
for
sure.
really big guys. Yeah, I know I get there sometimes in a really big push-up
Yeah,
phase. Um, and of course, it all depends on stimulant use and, like I said,
yeah,
recovery. My biggest advice towards all of you in terms of recovery and heart rate overall
mhm,
is going to be sleep. It's
yeah,
probably going to be the most important part. And of course, managing water retention, like you said. I believe that diuretic use is kind of prompted if you're trying to become a really big human being, just due to the fact that so many drugs kind of need to be thrown in. Well, depending, of
yeah,
course, on one's genetics. But we're not really going to bullshit you. We're not going to tell you that you can get to our physique with 500 tests. No, I mean this took a lot of grams. This took a lot of IU's. This took a lot of
yeah,
you know a lot of a lot of compounds in general. And neither me and him are gonna kind of tell you guys that otherwise and be the how would you call it? What are they called? The safety or safer dose preacher. I
yeah,
don't know what they're called.
yeah,
Yeah,
pussies.
yeah. That's a better yeah,
Yeah,
that's a better name for them. But anyway, let's move on to the second
yeah,
question. I don't even know if I want to answer this because this is not even like bodybuilding related.
sure.
What are the top three compounds for clavicle growth?
Clavicle growth. Oh, okay. So you're talking clavicle growth, you're talking muscle, or you're talking bone growth, right?
Mm-hmm.
You talk. So I think
Trend.
top three compounds, you're gonna go just synergistic, right? Tren,
Mm-hmm.
growth hormone, insulin. You got all those three in, and you're pretty much hitting every single avenue you need to look at, right? You kind of just thinking a bunch of IGF-1. How do you peak your IGF-1, right? You have the growth hormone giving you higher IGF-1 in your body. You have your insulin, whether that's going to be Humalog, Lantus. I do believe that there is merit to using Lantus just for more IGF-1 binding. I know that,
Absolutely,
right? Because you have the
absolutely.
Humalog and it's just going to be systemic, but usually for actual muscle growth and bone growth, you want that local IGF-1 kind of in there. So Lantus is probably going to be your best friend there. And then obviously you have your trend increasing your IGF-1 receptor. Uh, what's the word here?
Uh,
I'm blanking.
Affinity, I think is
Yeah,
the yeah, yeah.
yeah,
The potency at which IGF-1 expression occurs with trending in
yeah,
the stack. Yeah, I
yeah,
completely agree.
yeah. There you go. Those are your basic three.
And
That's all you really
and you
need.
could also synergistically throw in anadrol because
Yeah,
it does increase hepatic IGF-1, doesn't it?
yeah. Until you hit week five of its use, you can't eat.
Yeah, I have some injectable on the way. Have you tried that?
I've never tried injectable. No, I've never.
I don't know because the difference is like it's still going to go to the liver, of course,
Yeah.
but at a very slowed down rate. It passes it fast. Oh my god, also tripping on my words here. Passes first liver metabolism. So, but I also believe that when it's ingested orally,
I
it
was gonna
starts.
get to that. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's like a metabolite that we
Yeah.
start
That
missing, right?
exactly. Yeah. I think that's where most of its anabolic effects do come from. So
Really.
you do miss that if you don't take it orally, or even if you take it sub-Q or sublingual. Sublingual, you won't get that effect as well. That's why you just
Oh
want to
yeah,
just swallow it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, with sublingual, it's like more of like a caveat. So like if you do something sublingual and then you don't have any blood pumping to anywhere but your stomach, so like let's
Mhm.
say you do it sublingual, and then you just ate something. Now there's like
Okay.
blood going to your gut, so it's gonna go to your stomach anyway.
Oh, I
But if
see. Okay. Wow.
yeah,
Interesting.
yeah,
Never
but
thought
if
about that.
yeah, but if you do it sublingually, like as soon as you get in the gym and you start pumping, weights and getting the blood everywhere else, it's not really
Yeah.
gonna go to the stomach anymore.
Wow.
So yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. Good point.
it's really weird. But clavicle growth, wow, that's not something I
Yeah.
expected to hear on here. Question number three though, what inspired you to hop on?
Sure. So, I think, well, to start, I think nowadays most people are hopping on just because they want to look sick, right? They want to look cool for videos, just in general. For me, it was bodybuilding.
Same.
I hit like 17 years old, and all I wanted to do was just train and be like Dorian Yates. That was like my shit for like from 17 to like 20. I did a prep when I was 19, 18, turning 19. And then I did one more bulk before I went enhanced. I turned enhanced last year at 20, and now I'm 21. And my overarching goal is just to turn pro, make bodybuilding into a career.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean that's fucking sick, dude. That's really great. Like I can never like before I start doing this shit, I never really imagined myself in this kind of spot that I'm in
Yeah,
now. Because like I always post about this. Like I just feel so grateful to be able to like make money off of helping people bodybuilding because
yeah,
I just bodybuild for like a living now. So
exactly.
the whole goal was kind of this in the beginning, ever since I started. But for me personally, what inspired me to hop on? Well, first of all, back before I became a bodybuilder or you know want to be bodybuilder so far, I was really into MMA. Fighting.
Oh wow. Yep.
Yeah, I have like I would say 6 years total combat sports
Holy fuck.
experience. Yeah, in my under my belt.
I don't want to piss you off.
I did wrestling, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, Taekwondo. Um, that's about it. Yeah. Muay Thai was the longest one on them all. But anyway, past that point, um, I noticed that for some reason, no matter how much I really tried to like psych myself, like per se, like before a wrestling match, like I was always kind of in the back of my mind, I was always scared, like
Oh wow.
truly.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, I still performed, I still won plenty of times. It's just like I would just compare myself to the mentality of these different kids around me, and it was just never kind of the same. Like these kids were beasts. Like
Yeah.
I'm in Ohio, and it's one of like the best wrestling states in the country. Man, let me tell you, like some of these kids are fucking crazy. So like, I really wanted to become a UFC fighter. I really wanted to fight for a living, right? Um, but I was just not really what you put as example for that kind of person. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so I mean, I also got my levels tested for my testosterone when I was 16, and they were found out to be 248.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, so um, I I then well before I tested them, the reason I tested them was because I had pretty bad gynecomastia from that set testosterone level. I was probably just in a very estrogenic environment,
Yeah.
um, but I found that out, and I knew that bodybuilding was something that I wanted to pursue because after like one day of stepping into the gym, I just knew it was like something I really liked. But
Yeah.
no matter how much I really put into it, I never really got the progress that I wanted to get. Like for so like I was just seeing these kids' transformation on TikTok who were still natty, but the thing is like they had optimal hormone profiles and like good insulin sensitivity. Well, I was like just a fat chud
Fat
with
chubby kid
low
with a high
test.
estrogen.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
high estrogen. I'm like, whoa, like what the fuck am I doing wrong? Well, back when I was 16, none of the early information we have now, or at least not to this extent, was available. So um, I wasn't really lucky there, but I did decide to start at 16 due to the fact that I wanted to bodybuild. Like I just knew this was my kind of passion.
Yeah.
So same as him, but the kind of the main goal here was to kind of fix myself and hopefully achieve like a better physique in that regard.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically what inspired me to hop on.
Yeah. I think that's pretty cool because a lot of people, I find that a lot of people who end up doing bodybuilding, you cannot guess what they did before. Like for me, I was just a fat chud who played Fortnite,
Yeah,
right?
that's basically what I was
You,
the whole
you're
time.
you're a wrestler. I'm sure there's people out there who came from like music, doing they were like theater kids,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
you never really know.
Yeah, I mean, I was a theater kid in sixth grade.
Oh yeah.
I was in choir in sixth grade. uh,
Wow, all three on the fucking nail.
yeah, I was also playing Fortnite like a fat child.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna cap, dude. I swear to God to you, I had a duo. I almost qualified for the World Cup.
Oh wait. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I was
almost.
almost FNCS banned a few times.
That's crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
like the first year World Cup, I almost qualified for the finals.
Wow.
Yeah, and then we got kicked, like we got eliminated. But first, I wanted to be a UFC fighter. Then I wanted to be a gamer. Then I wanted to be a bodybuilder. But no, it was gamer, UFC fighter, bodybuilder. Yeah. So that's my story, guys.
Wow.
But anyway, moving on. Is mast a good compound for muscle growth?
Okay, so I know recently people have come out and said that it's not a great compound for muscle growth. Um, and I believe I'm the type who just goes anecdotally. I'm sure you're a little bit more different than me and you do like researching the studies, you're a bit more in depth into the knowledge. But let's be realistic. People have used Masteron for so long, and how many times have guys come out and said that Masteron is underwhelming? Not very often, right? Sure, it might need to be run higher, but at the same time, we can be thankful for the fact that it can be run so high, right? You can run like 2 grams of Masteron, you won't have any E2 issues, you're fine. You can just run that shit up. Um, Masteron, right? It's made for women with breast cancer, right? It takes off breast tissue, so if you have gyno issues, boom, that's solved there. Um, right. Also, another thing with breast people with breast cancer is muscle wasting, right? Masteron has that muscle preservation effect. So, oh, are you all good?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So it has that muscle preservation effect. So, I mean, if it's preserving muscle, it's clearly somewhat anabolic, right?
yeah.
That's
No,
kind of my perspective on it.
I don't really have a take on it personally. Like I see both sides, but I like to be kind of a logical thinker. So like you just said, like all those things, but I also just kind of look at the name of the category of drugs it's placed in, right?
Yeah,
Energetic anabolic or anabolic androgen steroids.
yeah,
If we know that basically every one of them has a chance to grow muscle, except for proviron, which we know
yeah,
the mechanism for why it can't build muscle. Would like I don't see why Masteron couldn't do it either.
yeah.
It's just the only thing I would say about it is just I wouldn't use it as the main driver.
For
You
sure.
know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And I've seen a lot of guys also like I know a big one is like John Jewett. Everyone knows
Yeah,
John Jewett. He's tried extremely high mass. He's tried like 3 grams of mass, 1 gram of test, 2 grams of mass, 2 grams of test, and he's personally found like same results. He hasn't found one be better than the other, right? So in even most cases, you can even say that mass is just as anabolic as test, right? And they're kind of just like it's a very easy use case, right? You just throw it in.
yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean at the end of the day, um, the drug shouldn't be really dictating your progress,
Yeah,
guys. If if having one drug in a stack is going to be dictative of your progression moving forward, then you got really bigger like, things to worry about.
For sure, yeah.
So, with that being said, next question: how to mitigate sides on trend?
How to mitigate sides on trend. So I think there's a few different types of sides we have to assess first here, right? Um, we know that we can have some type of estrogenic sides, we have prolactin sides, and then we have the psychological aspects of tren. And then you also have kind of that nervous system just drive and sympathetic nervous system like destruction. I think most people's sides are going to be more psychological and nervous system based. I personally haven't found a lot of people get that prolactin or estrogenic issues on trend, kind of like gyno or water retention. Very rarely see that. But I'm personally a believer of, hey, if you taking this certain trendos and it's giving you some sleep effects, I found that honestly just sitting on it and letting it kind of process through your body, eventually it settles down. I know when I,
Homeostasis.
yeah, I've found that if I ran like 200 trend, I'm fine. I get up to 300, 350 trend, my sleep gets tanked at the like hard at the beginning, but it eventually wears off and I'm fine. So there's that part. Now psychologically, and just kind of like how it hits your brain, there's not much you can do to mitigate that in terms of like roid rage or right just feeling kind of depressed or however you feel on trend. For me personally, I actually feel shitty on trend. If I take trend, I get a little bit down. My mood's not as great. I know some people just feel so awesome on trend that they don't want to touch that shit or they don't want to touch their brain's effects. They just want to keep running trend. What do you think?
Well, with the neurological side effects, I've found that having a great uh, mineral and vitamin stack with plenty of antioxidants. First of all, like I dose a lot of vitamin C. I dose a lot of vitamin E properly.
Yeah.
Well, vitamin E helps recycle vitamin C, so it kind of a synergistic effect there. Astaxanthin, alpha lipoic acid, just all
Yep.
these anti-inflammatories. Of course, I bump up my magnesium dose because if a drug is going to be increasing central nervous system activation, there's going to be more excretion of magnesium.
Yep.
Essentially, what you want to see on blood work is your alkaline phosphatase needs to be out of range in the higher spot of the reference range. Uh, I believe that's where we should keep it because that will kind of show that magnesium is actually making it through into the cells. Because alkaline phosphatase, the molecule itself has a little small chain of magnesium in the middle of it.
Mhm.
So if you have more magnesium, your alkaline phosphatase should be going up. Well, if you have the proper amount for your bodybuilding needs, I should say.
Yeah.
I dose more magnesium, and I found that having a great nootropic stack is also great for
Yeah.
neurocognition. I train rapidly, well, not rapidly, depending on how long, or depending on the dose and how long you take it. It trend acts on the central nervous system, we know that, so it makes you more dopaminergic. It creates more dopamine, creates more stress hormones, catecholamines, whatever you want to call them. So if your body has that for a long enough period of time, it's almost like kind of taking like a stimulant,
Yeah.
um, like your prescription ADHD medications. Like it kind of has the same effect. So what essentially starts happening is your brain kind of starts killing off dopamine neurons and transporters, and that's why you kind of start to begin feeling anhedonic or depressed on trend,
Yeah.
because it's just essentially down regulating the way at which dopamine can be processed and made in your body. And so I found that having nootropics like 9-methyl beta carboline, J147, Dihexa, and a lot of sleep medications on hand like lemborexant, because trend directly upregulates orexin in the body, which is the wakefulness hormone. Uh, Shutting that down directly will help get you get better sleep. Trazodone is great. Um, High dose melatonin for its antioxidant properties. High dose melatonin is actually really fascinating because all melatonin itself and all of its metabolites that it gets made into are all antioxidants
Yeah.
in the brain.
Best antioxidant for our body, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Number one, use antioxidant in our body.
yeah. Glutathione, it's great. Um, but there's a lot more that I can delve into. But essentially, what you want to do is dose a lot more magnesium first of all.
Yeah.
Biggest and most important of all, one of them all, in my opinion, is magnesium. A lot of people are deficient in magnesium. Um, Protect your sleep with proper ancillary use and proper sleep hygiene, and probably need to get a good nootropic stack in there and start researching neurocognition on your own as well.
Yeah. I think another good one to throw in there is just I actually think probably my favorite prolactin controller, just P5P. It's a form of vitamin B6, active form of
Absolutely.
vitamin B6. Genuinely, nothing beats it for me. Like I had pretty bad ED. If you guys want to figure out what ED means on trend, P5P helped
Every day.
fix that pretty. Yeah, really. You had it every day?
No, 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 no. ED, everyday protocol. You know.
Oh no, that's not what I mean by ED.
I,
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah. It got pretty bad, so I had to drop. So actually, if you're gonna take trend and you don't have P5P yet, you should wait till you get the P5P because it actually works better if you take it before you run it.
really.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I actually did not know that.
I'm not too just anecdotal. That's actually what I found. I don't have a single thing that backs it up, but I've found that if I start my cycle with P5P and then throw in the trend, I don't get hit touched at all by anything prolactin wise or like ED there. Yeah.
Yeah, and I would also just heavily go against using things like Caber
Yeah,
if possible.
just it's just like the only time it touch camera is if hey you're leaking out of your nipples and you need to just shut down your prolactin instantly.
And then before that, I'd probably try
Premi
pramipexole
packs,
first.
yeah, there
Yeah,
you go. So that's like a tier list. Yeah, P5P, Premi, Caber last.
yeah, I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
Let's see. Um, this one, okay, I don't know if you have a girlfriend, but how does your girlfriend feel about you taking gear?
You can ask her. You can ask her yourself. Happier every day.
Really?
Yeah, except for the ED moments. But besides that, like it's just awesome. Like she can't complain.
I would say the same. My girlfriend
Yeah,
found me while I was, mid-cycle. Like,
yeah.
I promise you, if she met me before my cycle, I would never like been dating. So,
Well, for me, we knew each other before my cycle. She was there for my first pin, and all the way now a year after, I'm definitely like so much better as a person.
oh
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
People, as long as you can, like, as long as you guys realize that the only things that control you as a person are just like literal like hormones and chemicals, and you can figure out how to optimize those hormones and chemicals in the body, like you're all set.
yeah. I think just one thing to note: if you have a girl and she's on birth control and then you hop on gear, she might not like you, because women on birth control are actually more attracted to men with lower tests.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. There was a study done. There was a control group. They literally just let them go around men and see who they were attracted to. They had the test pulled for every single one of these men, and like it was clear like they were attracted to men with lower tests. And obviously, I think the reason for this is because when you're on birth control, what's essentially happening is you need a moment.
You're good.
Okay, essentially what's happening is that your body's telling you, hey, you're pregnant. It's releasing a bunch of estrogen, and when they're pregnant, they're looking for a man who's soft, right, gentle. That's going to be a guy with lower tests, right?
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Wow.
careful there.
Yeah. And, actually, Molecular posted a video. I saw that one. Tren acts like birth control in your brain because
Really?
because of the progesterone receptor agonism or
Oh
activation,
wow.
I should say. Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah. And
So,
I also know like Anavar is like almost like one molecular structure away from becoming birth control too.
really, okay, I did
Something
not know
like
that.
that. Yeah.
Okay, I was just like we're just throwing out like random facts
Yeah.
here.
Birth control is borderline Anavar. That's what your girl's
Holy
huge.
shit! Alrighty, well, let's move on. Have you ever been bullied? If so, is that why you hopped on? No,
Um, you wanna go first or should I go first?
you can go first. But I've never really been bullied.
Yeah, I've never been like bullied, but I definitely found I had lower self-esteem in high school and just like in general, I always felt like, below. I wasn't the most athletic, wasn't the biggest, had nothing like shining for me per se. I think with gear, there's like some things that just pop out of my life aspect wise. So it gives me a little bit more quote unquote aura.
Yeah,
Right.
that's literally exactly like you just spoke for me there.
Yeah.
Like when you hop on gear, when you're like an extraordinary size, you automatically have some sort of respect when you walk into a room.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
become unique.
For sure.
So I believe that's probably definitely a huge part for me.
Yeah.
But I was not bullied. I was not like borderline suicidal or whatever. Like I just
Yeah.
needed I needed to fix
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
and I guess in my own perception of what fixing needs to be.
Yeah.
But regardless, what are the best compounds for muscle growth overall? All right, wait. Let's both say it on three. One,
Okay, wait,
two.
wait, wait, wait. How do we want to go about this? Are we talking about like genuinely best for muscle growth?
I mean, I guess
So the thing is, this question is weird, right? Because if you're talking about the most anabolic shit you could possibly take, there's
it's
an answer for that, right? And then there's the answer that's like, what's gonna make you grow and like not die?
it, yeah. Let's just do that one.
Okay,
Three, two, one.
test
Test
GH
GH
Slin.
Slin.
There you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So
an easy answer. It's
yeah,
like, yeah,
longevity is what matters the most.
yeah,
So if you die, that's pretty catabolic, in my opinion.
yeah,
So, well, anyway,
yeah.
what is your guys' approach on Humalog? Do you use it every train day, and or just on specific days?
So we're
Do you?
actually gonna differ here.
Yeah, I believe we are.
Yeah,
And he said, do you believe you can become desensitized to the compound?
sure. So, you want to start with yours? Yours, I think, is the more common approach to this.
Yeah,
At least
okay.
nowadays.
Oh, I've recently been kind of trying to experiment on using it like every train day but my leg day because leg days will probably just make me go hypo. Um, but usually what I do with my clients is I just make them take on their high day
Yeah,
uh, after a low day so they get a little bit. And I believe you can become desensitized to the compound if overdone, but that depends on what overdoing means for you as an individual
yeah,
because everybody has a different threshold of overdoing insulin.
yeah,
So I mean, that's why I believe, I mean, no, that's why I'm experimenting now because I believe everybody has a different threshold. Now
yeah.
I shouldn't like set myself back on my own and figure out what mine is
Hmm.
because definitely if you're able to use more insulin throughout more time, you're going to grow more. You're
Yeah,
simply controlling the timing and making the timing more suited towards uh, your bodybuilding needs, and the pharmacokinetics just play in your favor. But I definitely believe that you should probably start slower, and then as you kind of get to learn yourself, um, you can start to use it more frequently and start to tailor your own diet and activity and supplementation revolving GDAs and everything in that manner towards your insulin use.
yeah, yeah. And I think that's a great answer, right? I think there's nothing like that's a perfect answer for 99% of people, right? Um, but I think if you take a look at it from the side of, hey, so let's say we're 15 weeks into a growth phase, your food is probably going to be abnormally high, right? You're on a bunch of gear. Naturally, you're going to have to eat a lot fuck ton of food. And in the context of carb cycling, I just think it's so much harder to carb cycle. Like, take me for example, I'm eating 1,000 grams of carbs on a training day,
Oh
no
yeah, I
carb
saw your video
cycling,
on that one.
right?
Yeah,
If I were to carb cycle, my high days would be 1,600 plus grams of carbs. Now, that's just unrealistic. Unrealistic for a high day. And I think taking an approach where you have a training day and a rest day diet, and you're kind of just sprinkling in some Humalog to cover your pre-workout meal, some of your post-workout meal, and just intra-workout, I found actually works a lot better for me. It, I I definitely think over time you might get desensitized a little bit to it, but I haven't found any harm in just throwing a little bit more Humalog in, right? Humalog is a lot harder to actually turn you type 1 diabetic than it is for something like a Lantus. So with Humalog, strictly speaking, I find just using it on every training day is completely fine. Now I'm not saying to fully cover your meals. I think if you're, running like if you're having to run like 30 I use pre, 30 I use post, there's
that's
something
fine.
wrong going there.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
gonna need like more than 12, man.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. I think all we're really doing is just trying to alleviate some stress off of our pancreas. Just allow those carbs to be, worked by us. We're just taking care of that shit. We're shuttling that in. Pancreas, you're good. Take a rest. Yeah, I think that's my current approach on it. I've had no issues. 40 weeks up, 40 pounds up in like 18 weeks,
yeah, I saw that.
leaner. So
Yeah, I mean,
it's worked.
absolutely, I agree. Like with that fact, like for a person like you, that's definitely the better approach. I agree, because the question, or I guess the topic of discussion, more so starts to be tailored towards digestion rather
Exactly.
than proper insulin use.
Yeah.
Uh, but for like my clients, people come to me they usually are pretty new to insulin. So like,
Yeah.
they're like they're not at the size yet where they're eating that much.
Yeah.
But when food starts to get pushed up that high, like I do eventually kind of start switching people around and start experimenting with better
Yeah.
ways to optimize the protocol. But most of my clients, they're not that at that level yet, and they actually like really just enjoy having those high days. The more carb freedom,
For
like
sure.
yeah, pancakes and all that
Yeah.
good
The,
stuff.
the
So
hunger the hunger is nice on the high days, but like eventually you get to a point where like high day, low day, you don't want to fucking eat.
yeah, exactly.
So if you tell me that in 2 days from now I have to eat 1,600 grams of carbs, how I would have fucking DNR, bro. I don't want to eat.
Yeah, no. Only thing I really fucking find that helps me get hungry during my bulk is Lantus.
Really, I've yet to actually use Lintus myself.
Really.
Yeah, I've always I've only been on Humalog my whole time. This is my second cycle and it's pretty much second time using Humalog.
And your fasting glucose is good?
Yeah, my fasting glucose is constantly between like 4.2 to 4.6.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I thought you would. Damn, I thought you would order tried Lantus by now. Dude, I'll talk to you later. I'll talk to you after this
Yeah.
call. Yeah, yeah. We'll just keep going. Did either of you guys go to college or are you full time coaching? I am 18.
So yeah, you're just going in now? Graduated high school?
I mean, I just graduated yet, but I'm not going to college now. I'm just doing this full time.
Yeah. Me, I am 21 years old. This is my last year of university. I study computer science. I don't fucking like it at all. Hope, hopefully looking to turn this into a full-time thing. Not have to worry about job or work after graduating. But yeah,
Yeah,
I have
absolutely.
this as can never complain about having a degree, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. That's why I always just tell all my guys on my TikTok like, just how blessed I am. Like I already said, like never that I expect to be coming out of high school doing this shit
Yeah,
ever.
yeah,
So I'm really appreciative to everybody who watches my videos, who taps in, who gets coached by me, gets or asks me questions, books consults. You guys are all fucking awesome.
yeah.
Anyway, opinions on Anadrol in a deficit. I've been running some lately, and the fullness feels unreal. As well as my lifts are finally progressing. Yet tons of guys get worked up as it's typically not seen as a compound that should ever be used in a diet phase. That is just dogmatic.
Yeah. I honestly think it might be a little bit better in a dieting phase just because we know that orals do tend to suppress your appetite a little bit. And hey, if I'm suppressing my appetite in a diet phase, I'll
And
gladly do so.
yeah, Anadrol, you get appetite suppression. Well, hopefully, like I mean, personally, okay, I get some appetite suppression off it. Um, but the thing is, I did Anadrol for like 100 milligrams for 6 weeks on end.
Hmm.
Um, my liver values were not changed at all.
Oh wow.
Appetite suppression was definitely there. So
Yeah,
it's probably something like different, probably just maybe it's like hurting your gut lining or some shit.
yeah,
Because all these drugs, they're like weird, especially Anadrol. Anadrol has so much weird properties that we don't know about.
yeah,
But as I was saying, like if I'm doing Anadrol in a cut, you like this is essentially like the perfect cutting pill. Like
yeah,
you want the fullness, you want the strength, you want the size,
for sure.
the mineral retention, and then you get appetite suppression you don't even want to fucking eat, and then you're also helping boost your IGF-1 through hepatic IGF-1 production via Anadrol. Like it's just a win and win.
Yeah. I actually another thing is people. I think people overstate the water retention from Anadrol.
I agree.
I just stopped taking Anadrol. My weight's the same. I don't get any water from Anadrol, surprisingly.
Yeah, guys, if you don't want water weight from orals or drugs, don't let the water weight be stored anywhere but the muscle.
Yeah.
AKA means don't be fat.
Yeah, right.
So
You have taurine. You have so many ways you can like get the water out from the fat into the muscle. Um, yeah. Another thing with the Anadrol, actually, I think the reason you didn't get fully hit with the true appetite suppression is because your liver enzymes weren't really like fucked up or anything. Essentially, what happens with Anadrol is that it damages your liver, and your liver
bile,
releases this, yeah, and releases this one enzyme. I'm blanking right now. It
CYP.
releases it into, yeah, I think so. It releases it
Yeah.
into your gut, into your stomach, and when that gets picked up into your brain's like, yo, we're dying. Let's not fucking eat right now. Yeah,
What the hell?
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
So
the CYPK something 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 enzyme. It's a bunch of numbers. I forget what it's called.
yeah,
Um, But yeah, that does make pretty good sense if I'm
Yeah.
being honest.
Just slam a bunch of Tatka, like a gram in the morning, gram at
That
night.
yeah, that's what I do.
That's like the best thing you can do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tutka, and also like if I'm ever having a cheat meal, like a high fat meal, Tutka ox bile.
Oh
That's
yeah.
yeah, that's gonna be the best because I mean, bile acids are directly what's gonna help you break down the fat
Yeah.
in your stomach. So that's a kind of a tip for all you fucking binge eaters out there.
Yeah.
Anyway, um,
More you
what?
know.
Yeah, exactly. What would you want your HbA1c to be for the best insulin sensitivity? Slash, where should your glucose fluctuate in between?
Sure. I think this is pretty easily answerable. As long as you're like sub 4.5 HbA1c, I think that's normal. It also depends when you're doing it. Like, at what point are we taking our HbA1c? Are we taking it from the start of a bulk, end of the bulk? Naturally, it's going to go higher. I think at the start of the bulk, anything below 4.3, you're good to go. End of the bulk, anything sub like 4.6, 4.8, you've done a good job.
Yeah, I don't really like even measuring HbA1c because it's just like a. I just like to measure my glucose by the day.
Yeah, that's going to be
Like
your best bet.
it's gonna be easier that way. Like there's
Yeah.
like you just said, the timeline of the course of those 3 months will just dictate what it's gonna be at. And like even if you've been doing good, really good glucose wise for the past 2 months, that first month might still fuck you up and give you like
Yeah,
a worse reading than it should be.
for sure.
So um, next one. Do the types of carbs matter when taking Humalog post workout? Can I use it when eating a meal with a lot of protein and fats, or is it just fast acting carbs?
I don't think anyone is taking enough Humalog to warrant worrying about the type of carbs you're eating. Um, Most of the time, your post workout is going to be rice. I have potatoes post workout and I'm fine. Like, unless you're taking like 15 plus IU's of insulin or of Humalog, sorry. Um, just as long as you're eating something decently well digesting, that's like a rice, potato, fuck it, even pasta. You could have some fructose on the side. You're good.
Yeah, I pretty much agree. I personally just like to use faster acting carbs,
Yeah.
uh, just due to the fact that I need to get like fucking 6 meals in a day.
Yeah, there's that, which is just a different question completely.
Yeah,
But
exactly. But that's just like depending on the individual.
yeah,
And can I? He said, can I use it when eating a meal with a lot of protein and fat? Yes, you can use it when eating a meal with a lot of protein, but not a lot of fat.
yeah,
For the fat is going to get stored if you're in a surplus. That's already a big no-no. And then
yeah,
second of all, it's going to slow down your digestion by making you hypo, which is a big
yeah.
no-no. Wow, this is just. Next one is best insulin and GH protocol. Skip.
Um,
We can't even answer that. We can't answer that. There's not a set one.
yeah, like with GH, I just don't care. Just take it all at
As high
night,
as you can.
just as high as you can, all at night.
Exactly.
Right, your IGF is elevated for 48 hours after. It literally doesn't matter. You can be so nuanced. You can take it a little bit pre-workout so you have a bit more IGF during your workout. But in the grand scheme of things, like you might grow like zero point 0.2 more pounds more muscle, whatever. Who cares?
Yeah.
Uh, with insulin, that's like such a deep topic that it's not even like you can't
We
talk
can't
about
mention
it.
that. Yeah. That's. I'm not gonna be giving you
Yeah.
like a random ass protocol to run. I'm good, bro.
Yeah.
Thoughts on DHB and the best liver protection protocol?
Sure. I've never had any clients on DHB. I personally never used DHB.
I just started it.
There's, yeah,
I just started.
I know there's zero human trials done on DHB. Um, I know Broderick Chavez, if you guys know who that is,
He loves it.
he loves it, but he's also said that he doesn't know why he loves it.
Well,
What do you think?
huh. I mean, I personally just gave it a thought because I've been seeing it a lot on the social media, first of all, of course.
Yeah,
And I watched a lot of podcasts like Think Big Bodybuilding, and uh, they advocate for the use of DHB, and they say it's kind of like a trend but without its side effects,
yeah,
which I guess I'll be the one to tell you the truth. Um, but I currently have no thoughts on it because I've not ran it long enough to experience any of its benefits. I
yeah,
just started like 4 days ago.
yeah. I think it's definitely a
Um,
gray area.
yeah, exactly. Um, Thoughts on low test, high EQ, and masked with estradiol cypionate? That's no. I mean
It's
maybe.
I see where he's coming from
I
because he's
see where he's
saying that
coming from.
like yeah, the only reason we want our EQ to be lower is just because we want to make sure our EQ is not crashed. But you're also just fearing the fact that testosterone is anabolic, right? It's also bioidentical. So if you can get two in that's two birds in one stone, right? You get your estrogen from your test, and you also get more anabolism from a safe compound. So why would you not do that?
Yeah, and
Just kind of
I feel
pointless.
like the amount of blood work you need to get with estradiol sip to figure out what the fuck like a good pinpointing spot
Yeah, for
is
sure.
just a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Um, all right. Well, I don't really like that one. So, with the price of Peps, gear, etc., what are some easiest ways to save money in the bodybuilding space? Become a coach.
Become a coach, get your supplements from NutriCost.
Exactly.
Yeah, they have like sales like all the time. That's gonna be like your
They
main
have one
cost for
right
gear.
now as we're talking.
Yeah, it was like 30% off.
30% off back
Yeah,
to school sale.
yeah.
Even though I'm not going back to school, but
Make sure you're not eating out. Like literally eating out costs more than some cycles for people, right? If you're running just like test and mass, eating out is gonna cost more than that. So cut food outside of, just your regular daily meals. Even with your daily meals, find easy source of food. You don't need to be eating fucking shrimp if you're trying to save money. Your best friend's gonna be like
chicken
chicken,
breast.
chicken breast and rice, right?
Yeah, that's all you need, man. And then just supplement your missing vitamins and supplements with your supplements.
Yeah,
Boom.
yeah.
Is trend nowadays overused, and when should someone use it?
Uh, I personally don't believe so. I think it's used just fine because we're starting to understand its mechanisms, and we also understand that it's probably not nearly as bad as people make it out to be. Um, I personally think if you're younger, or okay, I'm not saying like younger than 18. I think if you're, between the ages of like 20 to 23, it's probably the best time for you to actually run trend because you're kind of getting to the point where your brain is fully developed. Um, you're young, so your body's healthy. So I think that's probably the most ideal time to run trend. I think if you're younger than 18, your brain is still developing. You don't need it. I think the older you get, the harsher it is on your body as well. So just find like a good time for you to use it, which is like 20 to 24.
I personally can't relate. I ran
No?
up to 700 milligrams of tren at 16. So,
Well,
um,
Jesus Christ.
hey, but we turned out fine. We're here right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
So, um, I'm slowly fixing my brain, guys. We're all
yeah.
good. Uh, but oh wait, okay. But for me, I do personally believe that trend is not overused, like you said.
Yeah.
Um, like you said, we're starting to understand a lot more, and it's the only drug that's trend. Like,
Yeah,
there's
for
nothing
sure.
like it. The unique properties you get from it is not able to be achieved, or at least not able to be achieved to the same extent from any other compound whatsoever.
Yeah.
And as long as you know how to leverage properly, support your neurocognition, and eliminate the side effects related to inflammation and sleep or recovery,
Hmm.
then you can probably be pretty good and well off. And
Yeah.
as long as you kind of just are honest with yourself, just don't
Yeah.
be fucking stupid,
Yeah. And I
essentially.
think if you're running any cycle and you genuinely feel like, hey, you're not making as much progress as you could be, literally trend will be the needle mover for every single person. Like you will make progress using trend if you're worried about not making enough progress on your current cycle. So there's always
Yeah,
that to keep in mind. Right? It
I
works.
agree.
It
Yeah, it
works.
does work. Always does, which is why I
Yeah.
keep coming back to it.
Yeah.
But next one, using Humalog post workout. Can I eat rice and chicken, or is it only fast carbs? We already answered this.
Yeah.
You can
You're
eat
good.
your rice and chicken, bro.
Yeah.
Can Humalog be used for breakfast slash first meal? Yes.
Yeah. I mean, no problem with it.
Yeah, I don't see why not. What are your aspirations in the sport, and do you see yourself bodybuilding until the end?
For me, yes. Like bodybuilding, literally being a pro, competing, Olympia, that's been my eyes set on since like I was 17. I tell the story to every single person I meet that asks me why I bodybuild. I remember I was like 17, I had the greatest back workout of my life. No car. It was like middle of winter. I took the bus back, and literally the whole time on the bus, I'm thinking to myself, Jesus Christ, this is what I want to do for a living. I want to train, I want to eat, and I just want to be a bodybuilder. Next day, went to school, told every single one of my friends, "Hey, I figured out what I want to do. I want to be a bodybuilder." Since then, that's been my life. Every day, every waking day. There's not been a single day off, and I don't want to take a day off. I love it.
That's fucking amazing, dude. That's really inspiring to hear. Yeah, wow. For me personally, I mean, I already kind of like went through my backstory about it, the bodybuilding whole thing.
Yeah,
But my aspirations, I guess, is to be the best bodybuilder that I can be. Um, I am I am pretty realistic with my expectations for myself. I do believe that I have somewhat of decent genetics.
yeah,
You know, I hope to go far as I possibly can.
yeah,
But in the end, for me, it's to build a life out of this and to help bring others up in this space.
yeah,
You know, stay a coach my whole life, or for however long I can. Just be involved with the sports my whole life.
yeah,
Not necessarily so much as like I have to prove something or like win something for myself. Um, if that happens, great. I'm going to
yeah,
do my hardest to achieve that. I'm gonna do my hardest to achieve a good placing at any kind of show. I hopefully go pro.
yeah,
Um, but besides that, my aspirations in the sport are to become the best bodybuilder that I can possibly be as myself as an individual.
yeah. Can't complain, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Um, okay, wow. How many lives would you sacrifice to become Mr. Olympia? Zero?
Yeah, we'll go zero. We'll say zero on the podcast.
Yeah.
We'll keep the answer. We'll keep the answer hush.
That's a very interesting question.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Let's see. If you weren't as good of a responder to gear and training, would that have affected your love for the sport?
If I wasn't a good responder to gear and training, would I? Sorry, would it affect my what in the sport?
If you weren't as good of a responder to gear and training, would that have affected your love for the sport?
Honest answer, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because let's be realistic, right? When you're natural and you're training and you have a good response, you're growing in the gym, you see that visually, like you see your like body change like weeks every week. You're like, yeah, I love this shit, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what
Exactly.
makes you pursue it. I think if you don't have that, why the fuck are you pursuing it?
Yeah. You're just kind of like
Yeah.
sitting there fucking
Yeah.
throwing weights around like a monkey.
Exactly. Yeah. There's no point in pursuing it if you're not one to be able to do it.
Yeah. Like.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. I completely agree. I mean, it's bodybuilding. It has the
Yeah.
word body in it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so, next one. Thoughts on test Tren Adrol GH Slin, 900 milligram total load. How do these compounds work synergistically, and is it a solid structured blast in a growth phase if I handle these compounds surprisingly better over all others?
So did he say what was his two anabolics? Test and Anadrol and Tren?
Test Tren and Anadrol.
Uh, I think you can up your milligrams a lot higher without such toxicity there. Like I don't think you need the
Yeah,
Anadrol right away. I think
yeah,
you can run like if you go test EQ Tren, I think that's a lot better.
that's the holy grail,
Yeah.
in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah, I agree as well. So it's not bad. There's better options though.
Yeah, like, and if you're gonna be the one to run like low test, high trend, then just hang it up, bro.
Yeah.
Seriously, like we're not doing this.
I've heard some fuck protocols like 700 Tren 100 test.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah, that's why they're at 16, bro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Fucking hell.
150 test, 700 trend, dude.
Brutal.
Yeah. Did I get gains from it? Fuck no. Actually, none. Like, zero. I'm being so
Yeah.
serious. Like it was bad. It was because I was fucking fat and insulin resistant still, and I was eating like
Yeah.
shit. So even trend can't really fix a really shitty diet, guys. Um, how to gauge the amount of calories needed when enhanced, and how different compounds can upregulate calories needed.
Um,
Slowly add
yeah, I
food
mean,
as you go on.
yeah, I don't think gear should dictate your rate of gain. I think your fat gain should dictate your rate of gain, right? If you can gain a pound and a half a week and it's all muscle, dude, gain a pound and a half a week. If you gain a pound a week and you look shitty week after week, let's not gain a pound a week,
Yeah,
right? It's all
exactly.
person dependent.
Yeah, like with my clients, like let's say someone just start off me, I give them like an arbitrary start based off
Yeah,
like a TDE calculator, and start from there. See how their response is, and you know if they're losing weight, um, I up their food. They stop losing weight. Okay, we're sitting there, and then perhaps performance stalls, I can up their carbs by a little bit.
Yeah.
I see how their performance moves, see how their visuals look. If everything is good, we're chilling. We set that weight, performance keeps going up, and then let's say the performance stalls again, but I add more food, and now they're not, increasing in performance, and now they're looking worse. Then I
Yeah.
pull back and perhaps think about pulling some other levers
Yeah.
in terms to achieve better performance enhancement.
Yeah. You know what's actually crazy is I've had a few people come to me and ask me, well, let's say I give their initial plan, they have their macros set. They'll ask me, so what are the calories?
Oh my god.
And people still don't understand that like
Yeah,
macros
I
are
know.
your calories. Like each carb is 4 calories, each
I
fat is
have to
nine
explain it
calories.
every fucking time.
Yeah. It's like they're
Every
like, oh,
time,
what are my calories? I'm like, you don't
bro.
need to care about your calories. You need to just care about your macros.
Yeah, just
Those are
just
your
worry
calories.
about
Yeah.
this, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean because that shit
Yeah.
happens to me so many fucking times.
Yeah.
Unbelievably amount of time. I mean, it's okay. Like, okay, like I'm not saying you guys should be ashamed.
Yeah, for sure. And it's just you got
Uh,
to learn it.
yeah, I believe that everybody has to learn it.
Because you got to
Um,
understand calories aren't like genuinely calories aren't all equal. If I eat fucking 300 grams of fat, I'm gonna be fat. So
yeah, I mean,
there's
like
no point in going off calories.
compare the guy who eats 300 grams of protein versus the guy who eats 300 grams of fat, and tell me all
Yeah,
calories the same, motherfucker.
yeah.
Well, actually, I guess you can't really you get like compare that shit because they weigh different amounts of calories, don't they?
I guess I guess you can go like 150 fat and like 320 carbs.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that'll be the same
exactly.
calorie.
Yeah. Um, last question actually. Oh wow, we already ran through this. I believe you also have year six, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you got my six on your end. I'm on my phone, so it'll be a little bit hard to pull them up.
Yeah, I got them. Let me just pull up real quick before we start this last one. All right. Last question on my end is why do you think medical personnel are not as informed slash not as inclined to help with gear usage?
Um, well, I think you're asking this from a perspective of you're using gear for muscle growth. That's not what gear was made for, right? A lot of the time, steroids were made, or I guess it was made for muscle growth, but not for the sake of trying to get as big as possible, but trying to keep you healthy and alive, right? Um, Deca, NP, like Deca, Anavar, Masteron, that stuff was made for people with muscle wasting, right? They're trying to keep them alive. Doctors that give you testosterone is because you're hypogonadal, right? They're trying to bring you back to functioning levels. They're not trying to turn you super physiological. So if you're looking to turn super physiological, then you'd go to like a coach or something, right?
Yeah.
Doctors have the knowledge to keep you healthy, right? That's what their job is.
Mm, that's a
Yeah,
bit.
I understand your point, but like I'm talking about from like a general consensus.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you guys. I promise you, your primary care is only there to sell you a pill.
sure.
Essentially,
I can get behind that. I agree.
yeah. Like I mean, that's the whole kind of scheme. That's how they make their money.
Yeah,
And that's why also like TRT clinics have their dosing frequencies are they're so shit. Like
yeah,
the protocols they give to you are so shit because they want you to come back. Um,
yeah,
they want to add something to your current protocol to make get more money out of you, squeeze more money out of you.
yeah,
Like it's all like bullshit. Um, and that's why we as bodybuilders are so much more advanced in the medical space than the doctors or the pharma the primary care physicians because they're educated on the most basic of the basic things you could possibly think of,
yeah,
and they're not gonna sit there get your blood work and take in all the factors you've provided them in terms of like taking gear, and they're not gonna sit there and read your blood and be like, oh wow, this cystatin C is kind of throwing me off here. They're not gonna know what the fuck cystatin C is.
yeah. It's brutal.
Yeah, so like
Yeah,
that's just kind of my thinking behind it.
yeah.
So
Yeah, and they're not trying to get you huge, right? They're not trying to turn you into a 260 pound bodybuilder,
yeah,
right?
when you come into the office, they simply just think you're killing yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
So
So
that's not optimal in
yeah,
terms of getting help.
it's catabolic.
Yeah.
Catabolic.
All right. Well, moving on to your questions. How to use T3, T4 in a deficit?
Sure. So typically what I'll do is I'll have previous blood work before a deficit. And with my protocol approach to running T3 and T4, I personally just like to use a dose that's going to put you at what your T3 and T4 levels were at before. Um, Unless you're in prep, unless you're trying to get super shredded, I don't see a lot of merit for running your T3 super physiological. I think just setting it at a replacement dose while you're dieting to try to keep you not from crashing those hormones is fine for the most part.
Yeah, I completely agree. And on the other note, I've been thinking about kind of trying to push T3 up in my next masking phase to like just
Okay.
50 micrograms, just for the reason of T3 is directly responsible for IGF-1 expression.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so like with my thinking behind it, more T3 equals more chance of IGF-1 expression locally, because we have T3 receptors everywhere on our body.
Yeah.
Um, and so uh, I'm gonna try that and just see if that works, because I'm gonna be eating a lot of food, and T3 is only gonna be as catabolic as it goes up. Uh, Only as catabolic as it makes your metabolism go up to. So like
Yeah.
if you can overeat to the T3, you'll still be fine. And
Yeah.
essentially, if you're going to be providing your body more carbohydrates, that's going to give you more resource for creation of IGF-1. And then with my thinking behind it, now with that extra resource, extra free, you can facilitate a better production. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna, that's just my own thinking behind it.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
not really a um, set study behind it.
For sure. Yeah.
Um, Question
But
for
I
the
guess
podcast. Oh,
sorry,
sorry.
but I guess he was dieting, right? And if he's dieting, he's probably not running so much gear that he can even express that much IGF-1, right?
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Yeah, no,
So,
I'm not
yeah,
in
just
his situation.
specifically to dieting, I think you're most likely just well off just having a
Yeah,
replacement
replacement
dose.
dose.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah,
If you're
absolutely.
trying to get huge, then you have your approach.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not even saying it's an approach yet. I'm gonna try it, but
Yeah,
yeah,
the
hopefully it
method,
does something. Yeah,
the
hopefully we
method.
figure something out. Um, Question for the podcast: benefits of Trent in the off season. At what dosage do certain benefits arise, etc. Some of the mechanisms and stuff like that.
I feel like we've
Which,
talked about trends so much.
yeah.
Um,
I'll let you take this one.
yeah, you want me to? Okay, so right, trend, higher androgen receptor affinity binding, higher IGF-1 receptor binding. What else do you have? You're able. I've just found you're able to stay leaner in the off season using trend. Glucocorticoid effect. So now you're breaking down less muscle, building more muscle. So essentially, that equation of like muscle breakdown plus muscle built equals net muscle gain. That's gonna net you higher muscle built. So those are just like the basics of it.
Well, yeah, I agree. Everything he just named, like, what are the benefits of Tren in the off season? Well, the benefits of Tren in general is
Yeah,
just having the strongest drug in the set.
yeah,
So, off season or not, the benefits of running Tren is basically just running the most potent,
yeah,
the most potent steroid out of them all in a
yeah.
stack. That's the benefit.
Exactly.
Um, Insulin. Does using Lantus raise IGF-1? Dosing protocol, etc. Yes, it does raise IGF-1.
Yeah.
Do you want to take that away?
I'll let you handle this one. I'll let you take it. Go for it.
Um, well, of course, if we're going to be having more insulin throughout the day at a higher rate, if we're going to
Mm.
have an elevated amount of insulin in the body throughout the whole day, um, that's going to give us more substrate for IGF-1 because that insulin is going to be used by the liver to be able to make IGF-1 in the first place.
Mm.
Um, I also believe that injecting Lantus intramuscularly has kind of permeates it to have a more an 8 time higher binding affinity to the
Yeah.
IGF-1 receptor.
You
So
know,
that's hmm,
I've actually been experimenting with Humalog intramuscularly recently.
holy shit.
Yeah. Intra workout, like right before I get in the gym, I'll pin my tricep with like 6 IUs, and man, like holy fuck, like 2 sets in, I'm like, I have the stupidest bump I've ever gotten in my life. Like, it's mind numbing. Like when you first start going to the gym and like you get pumps that are just like wicked, like you don't even know what's going on. That's what Humalog IM has been feeling like recently. I
I
enjoy it.
need to try that.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
But it definitely need to be careful because with Humalog being absorbed that fast intramuscularly, you definitely have potentially go hypo. So I would err on the side of caution with your Humalog IU ratio with your carbs.
Yeah,
Maybe
the
you can do like,
pharmacokinetics get thrown off
yeah,
with
like
all
maybe you can
those.
throw like half intramuscular, half sub Q.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, yeah, just as long as you guys can maintain a proper glucose profile during the
yeah.
workout, that's all that matters. So you should. I mean, I personally just got one of these.
Oh yeah,
Um, that optimizes insulin use to like the fucking most extent, man. Like if
yeah.
you have the money for it, I suggest you get some. Um, what was I gonna say though? Um, let's just move on. Actually, um, any comments on Ment?
Um, I honestly can't give a comment on Ment. I've never used Ment, never had a
Neither.
client on Ment. I mean, like, also very little use case for it in the off season. You're gonna run it, you're gonna blow your estrogen through the roof. Then it's gonna be hard to control. Um, it is. I know it has a very high anabolic to androgenic ratio, but like realistically, with needing to care about your estrogen that much, I think it's just so much like potential for things to go wrong, right? Um,
It's basically just D-ball and trend combined.
yeah,
That's what I like to say. Um, I posted a video on my TikTok, very like recently, asking if Ment is a high ROI compound, and everybody in my comment section seemed to say it is.
wow.
Everybody seemed to root for it.
I don't know a single person like that has used Ment.
I have a couple people who use Ment that I
Oh
know,
wow.
and they also like it as well.
Yeah. Okay,
So
wow.
yeah, because I mean it kind of gives you the best of both worlds, I guess, trend and D-ball,
Yeah.
but D-ball you more so get the GABA-ergic brain side of things, like the
Yeah.
effects. It just makes you feel super
Feel
happy.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the complete opposite of trend. So
Yeah.
it's you guys gotta choose between either dry and angry or watery and happy. So
Yeah.
that's kind of my comment on Med there. Um, what do you think of microdose daily sub Q? Hitting NTP 3 times a week, 90 milligram total, just for support in the background. Was thinking to do daily sub Q.
Um, well, like, why are you doing it sub Q? Right? I think it's just so easy to just, hey, shove the
Draw it in your
needle a little bit.
fucking in your
Yeah, just put it in a little bit
forehead.
deeper into the fucking into the muscle. Uh, I also just think sub Q is not going to be nice. Like, oil doesn't sit well into fat. You're gonna have lumps all over your body. You're gonna have like pain
And it
there.
hurts
Yeah,
like a
exactly. It just
bitch.
fucking hurt. I've never gone sub Q oil. I think genuinely the only reason you'd ever ask that is just because you're afraid. Um,
Yeah, like
I can't understand any other reason for that.
yeah, the only like really painful part about the pin is like when it just enters the muscle, and then everything else is perfectly smooth.
Yeah, and even if like I actually, no, I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't pin if it hurts. Like I'll tap around if I put it in, like,
I fucking shoved that
do
shit in
you?
there.
Fuck, you're an animal. No, I can't. Like especially my quad. If I touch my quad and if I put it slightly in, like I get like a sting, I just pull it right out.
I pin my quads like a lot.
You know, I have a client who pins the top of his quad, like his rec
Okay,
fem.
that's crazy.
Yeah, he just fucking goes and shoves it in. I don't understand it, but it like yeah,
Oh
that's
my god,
diabolical.
that I thought I was a little animal here for a
Yeah,
second. What the fuck is that guy doing? Oh
yeah,
my god.
ridiculous. He knows who he is. He's gonna watch this. Yeah,
Hey, if you're watching this right now, go comment. Go comment. But anyway, I think that was all the questions.
yeah.
So, but I was also going to personally ask you, well, how do you feel about using insulin in a cutting phase?
Um, so I think coming off of a bulk, I think it's great. Great because you're obviously not going to recover your insulin sensitivity right away. But I think transitioning to a carb cycle approach that you take and while you're dieting and having insulin on those high days, awesome.
Mhm.
Love that. That's what personally I'm going to be doing for my health phase and prep. Yeah.
Yeah, I just also like I've also been kind of like thinking about it. Like I believe me and you are kind of reaching a size to the point where even during a cutting phase, like we can keep our food super high. We can just leverage a little more movement. Like I'm dropping weight on like 3,800,
Dude, I wish. Uh,
right?
I think this is a matter of like how what's the word? Like how fast
Metabolic
your
function.
how fast your metabolism tries to find homeostasis. For me, my bulk calories run the fuck up. I'm on, like I said, I'm on 1,000 grams of carbs a day. I'm pushing like almost 6,000 calories. It's brutal. When I start dieting, my food's gonna get slashed, right? My metabolism adapts really quickly. Like
Really?
I'll be on like 500 grams of carbs within like the first 2 months.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm really adaptive. So that's why for me, using insulin like every day won't work then.
Hmm.
Yeah. But if you're someone who like their cutting calories and bulking calories are very just like very minuscule in difference, I think it's great to use insulin.
Or maybe you could even do it like that. Uh, you could like in a cutting phase, a lot of people like to structure their carbs all in the peri-workout window.
Yeah.
Maybe you could still use insulin, but just dose the intra-workout way higher.
Oh, yeah, that could work. But then,
And that's what I think. That's what really matters too, in the end all be all of things. Because you would just be spiking MPS during the workout. You're shutting those carbs in when that actually really matters.
yeah,
Shutting off cortisol response, at a higher rate.
the only problem is I think like Humalog still lingers in your body a few hours after, so you just have
You think?
potential of yeah. Because when I was running Humalog, or like when I was using Humalog early in my bulk, I would go hype like so I would train after meal two, meal three is my post workout. I would be hypo going into meal four,
Wow.
so it's still in my system there. Um, so I don't know. I actually do want to experiment with that though. That is a good idea.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, we'll find our ways. Like I said,
Yeah,
I always go by the kind of saying that bodybuilding is a very individual sport, which
yeah,
is the truth to it. I always try to explain to my clients that nobody has a set specific protocol for anything. So
exactly.
I hope with this video you guys can kind of start to see and understand how insulin is even used in the first place, because
Yeah.
it's not like a drug that has a specific protocol set to anybody.
Mm.
Insulin is a very, very versatile compound, and it can be used during many stages of your lifting career,
Yeah.
no matter what phase you're in, as long as it's structured into your current protocol properly,
Yeah.
which is why we cannot give you protocols as we cannot.
General.
Yeah, yeah,
We
we
can't give
cannot.
the general advice, right?
Yeah, we can only give you general advice. So if you do wish for a protocol, hit any of us up for coaching. We'd be glad to
Sure.
take you. But
Yeah.
with that being said, I really do appreciate you joining me today, man.
No problem. Thank you for
A
having
lot
me.
of
Had
absolutely.
a great
I have
conversation.
lots of great questions today from the team. But that's right about it then, huh? All
Yeah.
right. Well, I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you once again for joining me, and I'll
Of
see you guys
course.
in the next
Thank
episode
you.
of the Slin Academy Slimcast.
Take care.